Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Hello, good day, God bless you. I am Sarath C. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sarath C Psychology and Biochemist Knowledge channel. On this momentous occasion, we gather not merely as citizens of a great nation, but as the living embodiment of a dream that began more than 7 decades ago, when India's tricolor first rose proudly into the sky, announcing to the world that a civilization older than history had reclaimed her rightful place among sovereign nations. Today, as we commemorate the 79th anniversary of India's independence, I bring you the fully advanced, deeply motivational, investigative, and psychologically resonant message inspired by the Honorable President of India's address to the nation, not just as a ceremonial speech, but as a living document of our journey, our challenges, and our boundless future. The historical psychology of freedom. Independence is not just the absence of foreign rule, it is the conscious state of mental liberation. In psychology, freedom is a multidimensional construct, combining self-determination, self-actualization, and collective empowerment. In 1947, India did not simply replace one flag with another. It replaced the colonial mindset of dependence with the determined mindset of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. Every Independence Day message from the President is more than symbolic. It is a mirror held before the nation, reflecting how far we have walked from the chains of subjugation toward the boundless horizon of possibilities. The President's core message in 2025, A Nation in Transformation. The Honorable President's 79th Independence Day message is rooted in 3 intertwined principles. 1. Unity of diversity, a reminder that our strength is not in uniformity but in the harmonious coexistence of cultures, languages, and beliefs. 2. Innovation with responsibility, a call for citizens to use science, technology, and creativity not just for profit, but for societal well-being. 3. Moral leadership, a psychological principle that nations, like individuals, are guided not by raw power alone but by the moral compass of their people. From the ramparts of Rashtrapati Bhavan, the President's voice was more than ceremonial. It was neuropsychological persuasion, appealing to our emotions, reasoning, and deep moral instincts. An investigative lens, how the presidential message mirrors India's socio-psychological growth. When we examine the 2025 speech through an advanced psycho-historical analysis, we find that it speaks directly to 4 psychological pillars. Cognitive resilience, the ability of citizens to adapt, innovate, and thrive even during challenges like pandemics, economic crises, and global instability. Collective identity, how festivals like Independence Day reinforce our shared national narrative and reduce the dangers of cultural fragmentation. Intrinsic motivation, the President's repeated emphasis on self-driven excellence aligns with self-determination theory, a core psychological model explaining why humans achieve great things when internally motivated. Neuro-emotional anchoring, by invoking images of the tricolor, the national anthem, and historic sacrifices, the speech activates powerful associative memory networks in our brains, making the message unforgettable. Global image and the science of soft power. One of the lesser discussed aspects of the Independence Day message is its geopolitical neuroscience, the deliberate crafting of India's image in the world's collective consciousness. The President subtly highlighted India's leadership in green energy, digital diplomacy, and humanitarian missions, showing that modern patriotism is not isolationist, but globally responsible. This is soft power at its most advanced psychological level, influencing without imposing. Motivational core for the youth, the future of the Republic. The President's speech was particularly a cognitive ignition for the youth. He recognized that in 2047, when India marks her 100th year of independence, today's 20-year-olds will be the decision makers. His words carried an educational neurochemistry, designed to release dopamine through pride, serotonin through belongingness, and oxytocin through national unity. It was not just a lecture, it was a neuropsychological strategy to hardwire patriotism into the synapses of the next generation. Economic and scientific renaissance. Special emphasis was placed on India's biochemical and technological revolutions, linking them to the psychology of national confidence. From the Chandrayaan missions to indigenous vaccine development, the President highlighted that innovation is the currency of sovereignty. For us, in the Sarath C Psychology and Biochemist Knowledge channel, this is a perfect intersection, where scientific achievement fuels psychological resilience, and psychological resilience fuels further innovation. A special investigation, the silent themes in the speech. Using content analysis, a psychological and linguistic investigative tool, one can find hidden layers. Repetition of we over I, reinforcing collectivism over individualism. Temporal bridging, connecting past sacrifices with future visions to create a sense of historical continuity. Moral framing, presenting patriotism not as blind loyalty, but as active, ethical citizenship. Neurosensory anchors, subtle references to visual imagery, tricolor waves, auditory cues, national anthem, and kinesthetic symbols, salutes, handshakes, to create a full sensory imprint. From symbol to action. Finally, the president's call was clear: patriotism without action is like potential energy without motion. He urged citizens to translate pride into policy, emotion into entrepreneurship, and memory into measurable progress. His conclusion echoed the ancient Vedic truth, Uddharet Atmanam Atmana, lift yourself by yourself. This, in modern psychological language, is self-efficacy, the belief that you can shape your own destiny. In conclusion, as we mark the 79th Independence Day, let us carry forward the President's message not as a one-day celebration, but as a year-round mission. Let our minds remain free, our actions disciplined, and our hearts united. The story of India is not yet complete. It is being written every day, in classrooms, laboratories, fields, factories, and in the quiet determination of ordinary citizens. Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Jai Hind. This is Sarath C, signing off from the Sarath C Psychology and Biochemist Knowledge Channel, where history, science, and psychology meet to create a more enlightened future.